Hey Bruno, thanks so much for taking the time to join us today for this JumpCloud Partner Success interview. Hope you're doing okay. Can you maybe tell us a little bit about yourself and your current role?
Sure. Thank you so much, Chris, for you and for all the people in JumpCloud. Well, my name is Bruno Hoirocha. I'm the CEO and founder of MacSolution, based in Brazil. I began my career working in Apple's technical support department here in Brazil as an Apple Care agent. After solving more than 10,000 cases, I realized there was a huge gap in Brazilian market for consulting and support services focused on Apple platform. When Apple launched its first Intel-based Mac in 2006, I saw a clear trend. The corporate world, especially developers, creatives, and executives, would begin to adopting Apple hardware. And at this time, there were very few local tools or projects that addresses this market, which led me to create Mac Solution, a company focused on delivering specialized high quality Apple solutions rooted in the same customer service standards that I learned at Apple. By 2015, we had already served over 1,000 customers of all sizes, always building strong consultative and friendly partnerships. We listened carefully to our customers' pain points, always aiming to deliver a high perceived value and maintain a level of services that was rare in the market and it still is after so many years. During one of the feedbacks visits, we noticed a common issue across nearly all of our customers: difficulty managing in the identities on Apple devices. That stuck with me, and I started looking for solutions that were both effective and easy for customers to manage. In 2019, I had a chance to attend MacTech event, an Apple sysadmin community event. One of the sponsors there was JumpCloud. That's when we started to testing the platform, thinking about its potential adoption with some of our customers. After running internal evaluations, we quickly saw that JumpCloud was exactly that our customers needed. Since then, we've built a strong mutual committed partnership between MacSolution and JumpCloud. Our collaboration has evolved significantly, and we've remained focused on expanding JumpCloud's footprint in Brazil. Thanks to MacSolution's DNA of premium customer service and deep technical knowledge, we are able to offer JumpCloud customers tailored implementations, advanced customizations, and specialized support. That combination has helped us become one of the JumpCloud's largest and most well-prepared MSP globally, I believe.
Well, I was about to say that same thing. You're being a little modest. You're certainly one of our largest partners globally and definitely the largest in the region. So thanks for being such a valuable partner. It's very much appreciated. And
Welcome.
we love what you do. And I've made a note here that if ever I get any problems with my Mac, I can't print or something like that, you're the person I need to speak to, having solved so many
Boy,
support
well, I love
tickets.
it
Yeah.
too. Apple products. I can consider here in Brazil Apple evangelist, to be honest, because I deeply know about the ecosystem related to Apple solutions. I'm using Apple since macOS 9, for example. So I use it a lot. I was Apple. I train a lot of people in Apple environment, not just the end users, but technical people as well in the companies that we working with. So I work there, and it's a little bit different from most of the people that didn't work there. And I saw a transformation when Steve Jobs goes back to Apple and started a revolution. Create the I was there when the iPod was released, and I'm leaving the company when the iPhone was almost finished, and nobody knows what they are doing. Most of the time, it was very strict people that knows about the plans that Jobs did a lot of controlling stuff that how the things goes to the market from sometimes. So it's very very good to be there.
Yeah, and that seems
Happy
true.
time.
Yeah, but I seem to recall that you mentioned that you started when Apple sort of migrated to Intel from PowerPC, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think I read, is it this week that Apple has ended the support for Intel completely? I think is the deadline for supporting
Yeah,
Intel
the
devices.
last
Yeah.
system is the Tahoe, this new system that comes in this autumn, probably this fall. And then it's the last one that it will be available for Intel. In my opinion, it took more time than I was imagined, because when I was there when they decided to migrate from PowerPC to Intel, was a shock for the most of the people, because Apple did on the past the same thing when they decided on the history to move from the other system to PowerPC. Basically, you put your old computer on the trash and starting a new one. You don't have a lot of tools and everything else. But Apple did a great software to combine software that you have in PowerPC ecosystem to Intel one. It was Rosetta, and help a lot of during the years to migrate slowly from PowerPC to Intel. And when they decided to shift to Apple Silicon, I was thinking about, okay, they know how the things works now. They know how they doing that, and by the end of the day, basically, it depends of the perception of the customer. If the customer adopt this new platform, they will shift very fast. And this is what happens when I started to using these new Apple computers with Apple Silicon. I was very impressive from the speed and the temperature, because it is one of the issues by the end of Intel era, the issues with temperature, and and they have a lot of problems with processors, because when you have an issue in architecture, that you increase the temperature, you need to slow down the clock on the computer. So, and they solve it. The MacBook Air never had a fan, for example, the new ones, and the MacBook Pro that I use it for a year, I never listing my fan of my CPU turn it on, except from the time that I'm really testing, because I was very uh, precautious to see if it was working or not, basically. So
Yeah, I have a MacBook Air, and you say there's no fan in there, so that's silent. But I also, in the past, I've had an Intel-based MacBook Pro, and occasionally the fans on those things sounds like it's a jet engine about to take off when you're trying to do some
yeah.
work. Yeah, it can be super noisy. So yeah, that's interesting sort of snippet on Apple. So let's move on slightly, because I'm curious
Okay.
to know a little about you mentioned identity. So we're talking sort of using JumpCloud as sort of directory or a kind of repository for identities. But when it comes to things like productivity suites within Mac Solution, are you working with sort of Microsoft 365 or with Google Workspace, or is it a combination of all different types of productivity?
Well, we don't sell license, we sell solutions, which are strong focus on delivering high quality services to our customers. Our goal is provide customers with a team of consultants who specialize in the platform we represent, giving them the confidence that they can really on highly trained professionals to meet their specific needs. As an early adopter of new technologies and having participated of a beta tester from Google Forwards on the past few years ago, the predecessors of the Google Workspace, we've always recommended Google as a part of a solution stack. It integrates perfectly with JumpCloud, and the two platforms complement each other seamlessly. Now, with JumpCloud established a global partnership with Google, we saw real value in becoming a Google partner as well, especially for enterprise projects where we see great potential for a broader adoption of the platform.
I think you've touched upon this already, Bruno, around how you initially heard about JumpCloud through an event. But I'm curious to know what attracted you to look more deeply at it at that point, and what was your sort of first interaction with JumpCloud, and how did you get going with it? Did you look at it for a particular client need? Was it you're looking at it for yourself internally. I mean, how did you kind of get the relationship going with JumpCloud?
Well, we have a different scenarios. We have customer that wants to starting migration from the on-premises services, servers to cloud solutions. Well, other ones we have companies that we name it born to cloud, that only wants to use cloud solutions. These new work shift, the people that working nowadays in IT, they don't want to using most of them products that was very strictly to Microsoft, IBM, and other solutions. They have the freedom to choose other platform that it was stronger, and then they can adapt more using these platforms. For example, JumpCloud can help them ones to get this freedom basically. So we can adapt basically in different scenarios that we are believe it's job cloud is a good option for that ones.
And just thinking, just a slightly random question that's just occurred to me is you mentioned that lots of sort of cloud first companies or sort of born in the cloud organizations. Is that something that in the sort of Brazilian market is possible because of, I mean, is the infrastructure sort of fairly advanced in Brazil to make that happen?
Yes. Well, nowadays, Brazil suffer a lot in the past with infrastructure, but nowadays, after uh, last 5 to 10 years, we are growing very fast in different areas, different industries, and we have ecosystems locally. And because of the COVID, most of the companies must go. To the cloud because they started to work remotely. They don't have the options to be in the at the office. So the companies was forced to migrate the ways that they're working. The world was never being the same anymore. So basically, so the telco companies saw the gap, open a different data centers spread from the country, and most of the places in Brazil nowadays, we have options to using fiber internet, for example. There was a luxury asset in the past. We have the satellite internet from Elon Musk companies, and nowadays it's more adaptable to working remotely. We have some customers that we never saw them face to face because they are remotely from the northeast of Brazil, for example, and they don't have open offices in any place. They just have a physical address to meet the regulations in Brazil, and we help them to get a structure for onboard, a process for onboarding and offboarding. And it wasn't possible if you are thinking 5 years ago, for example, if I need to send a computer to somewhere else in Brazil, the first thing was, okay, if I need to send someone a computer, they must be configured. The identity must be on the computer. I need to put the identity by myself because I don't have the ability to give him an option uh, to install any software or to put in the credentials and the computer put in his own password, and they need to force him by the phone or asking him to look. When you receive the computer, you must change your password and other steps. All these things was solved when JumpCloud came to the market, basically. So for us, it was a game changer, to be honest.
Yeah, and Brazil is a huge country, right? I guess certainly
It's a
relative to the
continental
UK.
country.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
have a border with more than 20,000 kilometers of other countries. It's we have a lot of difficulties here, but one of the things that I believe the Brazilians are the best one is about the creativity. We adapt a lot from the circumstance that comes to us, basically.
Yeah, well, and you don't want to be sending a truck to go and install a laptop at the other end of the country. That's a long way away. And you also made a very good point there, which I've mentioned before on this interview, is around the way that MSPs had to respond to COVID, which was sort of rapidly turning a lot of in-office on-prem organizations to operate remotely from people's houses or whatever, almost overnight. It was incredible the way that MSPs did that, and I think that they should give themselves a huge pat on the back, because it's even post-COVID, it's made a difference to the way people are working. JumpCloud, as I know you know, because you work with us quite a lot and speak at our events, but we're probably fully remote anyway. We do have offices, but very few people attend them in person now. I think everyone is all around the world and we work fully remote. And I think it's a great way to work for us. And I think more and more companies are beginning to do that.
And it's impossible to think about that in the past if you don't have a tool like JumpCloud. I remember when the Brazilian government declared the lockdown, especially in São Paulo, where the state that we are, they decided to shut it down and locking down all the people at home. And before they decided to go in that, the news was in the newspaper saying that it was a Friday. I can't remember. It was a Friday. I saw the news saying, "Look, São Paulo, the mayor of São Paulo will declare that the lockdown will be implemented on next Tuesday." So I called to all my co-workers and my employees here, and I say, "Okay, everyone, get your stuffs, go home, pack one, going back home." Using any accessory, get any accessory that you are needing to doing your job at home, and we are shutting down this weekend the company, and we lock down that one, and everyone will be safe in the first place. And then after 2 or 3 weeks, a customer called me, said, "Look, how do you are implementing the remote work in your company?" I say, "How I'm doing? I did 3 weeks ago." How? Because we are using JumpCloud and we don't need to have a physical office to people living, working there and doing their jobs. We can do it remotely from anywhere. And this customer decided to starting to test JumpCloud in the same week to see how the things work. And and it works very well. And we changed the entire company to JumpCloud basically.
Yeah, well, maybe something good came from the pandemic then, after all. So that was a positive. And thanks for explaining that. Okay, well, we'll jump on to the next section, which, and yeah, again, you've spoken a little bit about some of these already, but maybe if there are other ones, I don't know, which is around the JumpCloud benefit for your clients. I mean, what are the benefits that either JumpCloud provides you at MacSolution, or any kind of tangible benefits that your clients are seeing for using JumpCloud?
Well, freedom, if I say in one word, because in Brazil, Active Directory still dominates, but it has serious limitations. When I saw what JumpCloud could do, and in a much lighter, more flexible way, it became clear that this was the direction we want to take our customers. So, for just one word, freedom.
Well, perfect. We do like a short answer on this interview, so freedom is very, very good. So thanks for that. Okay, well, the next one's a little bit around advice. You're, as we mentioned at the outset, you're one of our more successful MSPs around the world, and you're sort of a huge partner of us, and use JumpCloud extensively. But if you were speaking to another MSP, if you were at a trade show, like another Mac event, if you were there, or a Google event, or you bumped to another MSP who said, Bruno, we're doing okay within our MSP. We're looking at something called JumpCloud, but we're not quite sure how to get going, how it's going to help our MSP. What kind of words of advice would you offer them?
Well, the JumpCloud freedom with versatility to integrate SSO, manage various operational systems, monitor clients' infrastructure from a single dashboard. This centralized control and relieves the IT team. Furthermore, MacSolution developed tools like Data Ranger that for advanced reporting integrates their IGA model with JumpCloud's IGA capabilities. They also offer features like real-time their warranty tracking, for example. These additions enhance the JumpCloud experience and provide a further value for the customer. For MSP just getting started with JumpCloud, my biggest piece of advice is to develop a strong hands-on understanding of the platform's capabilities. Take the time to complete training and certifications. They are crucial for enabling your team to fully leverage everything JumpCloud has to offer. Make customer education to top priority, supporting your customer with clear communication and guidance through their onboarding ensures a smooth and confident transitions. Just this can be done with using JumpCloud, honestly. So it's the smartest decision, in my opinion.
Yeah, fantastic. And thanks for calling out the training there. We're very proud of the JumpCloud University, and I think that we encourage all partners to go through there and get their teams through there. It makes a huge difference. So we've just come to the final question, and I'm curious to your answer on this because I know that I've got some opinions, and I'm sure you have too. But you mentioned you've been in this space for a long time, from sort of fixing sort of service issues yourselves at Apple to kind of running a successful MSP, which is very kind of advice and offering kind of services to your clients. I mean, where do you see the sort of MSP industry going in coming years? There's been a lot of talk about the initial break fix model to recurring revenue MSP model. Then there was the move from on-premise to the cloud, which has obviously kind of already happened or been accelerated. I mean, what do you think is next for MSP?
Well, nowadays we are suffering something in the market that was very common. That is people stopping to listen to the customer, basically. In my opinion, we are not in the market to become a reseller. I normally I said to the people here in the office, we are not moving boxes from one side to another side. We are helping the customer. We are listening the customers, what they really needs to, what the features that they must have on their one. That's why we created Data Ranger, for example. We know that some of the feature wasn't possible to do at the time using JumpCloud. And we decided to create our developer team here and started to create the different tools to integrate directly with JumpCloud. The key is just listen to the customer. The MSP is the only way that I truly believe that it's possible to acquire the challenge that the customer have and reach the goals that they want to. In my opinion, it's the only way that you can do. If you have an MSP on your side, you can focus on your business and leave the painful stuffs related to the IT for the real ones that they can solve it for you.
Yeah, and that's absolutely perfect answer, Bruno, and a nice way to wrap up because that kind of echoes my thinking as well. That I've been saying that MSPs need to get more involved strategically in their clients' businesses and helping them with processes and solutions and finding ways to make their business more efficient, rather than just being reactive and fixing problems like printers not working or emails not sending or whatever. That kind of thing is over now, right?
And yes, and my final advice for the MSP is stop wasting time juggling multiple tools. With JumpCloud, you can get single and unified platform that combines multiple functions across various systems and all one seamless, frictionless portal. It's not just about convenience, it's about efficiency, security, and control. JumpCloud simplifies identity and device management, helping you centralize your operations and scale your services without complexity. If you want to modernize your stack and focus on what matters, JumpCloud is the smartest move you can make it. My final piece of advice, listen to the customers again. Is where you can really focus and you can get improved and be part of the entire company. That's why MacSolution have nowadays 20 years with some of the customers that are in our house for 20 years now.
Yeah, and any MSPs listening, that is fantastic advice from a fantastic MSP partner. So thanks again, Bruno, for taking the time to join us today. I've really, really enjoyed chatting. All the best with MacSolution. I can't wait to see what comes. I'm sure it's going to be continued success. But until we speak again, enjoy the rest of your day and take care.
Thank you, Chris. Take care.